Hi, all my yarny, crafty friends. Welcome to Jana's Crochet Journey. Today is Monday, January 29th, 2024. And I am coming on today because I actually finished the section on my Mosaic blanket and the small break that comes in between the one pattern and the next one. So I wanted to show that. And I also started a project that one of my daughters asked me about, and I knew where to go to find a pattern, so I started that, and I filled in my shelves with some yarn. I was going to try and film it and kind of fast forward through filling it, but I don't know if I could figure out the little program that's on my computer because it is an older one, and I didn't want to go through all that and then not have it work. And trust me, when I was going through all these boxes and deciding what to put in, it definitely got worse before it got better. But that's okay, because I had the time. So, I have 1.5 cakes. Whoop, the other way. And then I did, excuse me, 2 shelves of most of it's Crafter's Secret ombre. And then over here, I have some of my, oops, sorry. I only have like 5 of those anniversary cakes. And then just a little bit of cotton here and up here and then up there. And then this first one is almost all big twist. There's a little bit of AC Moore and another one that I can't think of. And then I just took like a little bit, like I have some velvet cakes and things, but I have more colors, but they had to go back in boxes and they're all stacked next to me. So if I'm looking for a specific color and I can't find them, I'll just have to go through the boxes, which I did write on them what's inside so that I wouldn't have to open them all. This is not all of it, but it's enough to keep me going right now. So I'm sorry if the camera moves, but my cat has come to visit. So anyways, that's what I've been up to besides the project. So let me get going on showing you so I don't take up too much of your time before I forget, because I don't want to be rude. I want to thank everybody for returning subscribers and friends and I've gotten some new friends, which is exciting. And the comments from people, happy to see me again, and I'm happy to be here. I just gotta crochet more because I don't want to come on if I don't have anything to show. So for my new friends, I have been working on a spiritual flow by Sarah Athey Designs, and not like she's gonna watch me, but if I say her last name wrong, I'm so sorry. So this is what the pattern looks like. And it is Mosaic, which is like my favorite right now. The sections are big and they take some time, but I'm totally loving the process for sure. And I have a lot of patterns already printed and ready to go for when I get this one done. I'm going to go back over the sections for my new friends, and then my longtime friends, in case anybody forgot. But I used a 6mm hook, and you had to pick a main color, which I did Big Twist Sapphire. This is a very pretty blue. So this is in every section, even the little breaks in between. And then I chose, I want to say they're all Big Twist, maybe a mill end. I'd have to go back in my notes because I'll take the pattern in a notebook and bullet the instructions, and it's a lot easier to keep track because each section, which there's 3 repeats in a section as you go, and it can get a little confusing and you could lose where you are. So the bullet form, and if I need to, a scrap sheet of paper and just move it as I go, because I'm not gonna lie, there's times where I've moved on and got almost to the end and something's not working out, and I'll go back and I'll be like, oh my God, and I have to pull my yarn up in a big loop where I am, pull the second or the row below it out, go back to where my mistake was and finish it properly, and then go back and catch what I was working on to finish it out. That's happened a few times, you know, but it's working out and I am loving it. So the first section was the wolf. I don't want those people who watch this to be correcting me because whatever, I'm not perfect. And I used the main color in Varsity Blue. The next section was a bird, and the main color Sapphire with Denim Blue. And the third section that I just finished was the sheep, and main color with, is it Cyan, C-Y-A-N is the color. And then the fourth section that I'll be starting is the owl, and I'm going to use the Sapphire with Dark Denim, which is by Big Twist. I have this floppy skein to finish up, and then I have more. And then the fifth section is you repeat the wolf section. And then you can either leave the ends as a fringe, or you can just go around with maybe 2 single row or single crochet or half doubles, my favorite stitch, to go back and like tidy it up. And then this one will be done. So, and I look over here because I write my notes down so that I know what the heck I'm talking about sometimes. So let's start at the bottom, and this is the wolf. Let me see. So the pattern repeat is a paw, the wolf, 2 cactuses, the wolf, another paw print, and then that's the repeat. And then it finishes out like so. Then here is my bird. And you'll see underneath the bird is the small break in the pattern, and then this one is what they call a large break. So there's the bird. And then the one I just finished with a small break is the sheep. Let me try to. there's that. And I can see through, so I'm hoping. I think it looks pretty awesome. So now I'm ready to move on to the wolf. No, I'm not. The owl. Then I'll show you, and then the wolf. The owl is another big section like the sheep. So I'm not sure how long it's going to be before I show this again. But I'm going to try working on it as much as I can. But in the meantime, I want to be able to show all my friends stuff that I've been working on. Otherwise, it could be a month before you see me back. So, I have a basket next to me that I keep my projects in when I take them up into the living room to work on them. So, the next thing is one of my daughters asked me if I could make a bear for my grandson, and possibly with an outfit or two. I mean, he just turned a year. Right now would be more for like a decoration in his room. So I thought back to when Lynette from Charm Grammy Crochet did her bear. So I went on Amazon and found the book that she used. It's Dress Up Amigurumi by Madeline, I guess would be her name. So I got that. And in the back, it has Duncan the dog, Becca the reindeer, Hugo the bear, and Ray the elephant. And then it comes with 25 outfits. You can make the bear, the basic bear, with no clothes on, so that you can interchange, you know, if the child was older or whatever. Or you can make it with a solid t-shirt, and then there's patterns with just overall pants to change out, and accessories. You can make the t-shirt striped. So finally, after looking through the book, and it tells you to look at the outfits that you're thinking about making, because that will determine what you do for the shirt situation. So I decided to do the bear with the t-shirt. And so these are all my little markings. So I am going to do the solid t-shirt. And let me go back. See if I can find a good picture. So this is, you can make a brown bear, or they call the white one a polar bear. So this is the bear. I'm doing the brown. And I picked my color for the t-shirt because in the patterns that I'm going to make to go with him is, I want to make the fishing one because I think that's cute, and the overall is just, you know, can come on and off. And then there's the cowboy set. Same t-shirt, you just do different pants. And there's also, as a possibility, the firefighter, which it says that this outfit, I mean, it makes no difference if you have the t-shirt on or not, because you'd have the bear anyways. It's just the color yarn that you're using to go with the outfit. So he could still have his t-shirt on, and the outfits are interchangeable with whatever animal you're crocheting. And then there's pajamas as a possibility. And like you could even change out and do like Halloween. So there's lots of possibilities. So doing that, my other grandson, his theme was like the elephants. So I'm going to make him the elephant and then decide on what outfits. It's probably going to be pretty similar, just different colors. Or I might pick 2 outfits for one and 2 outfits for the other. I'm not sure. I'm not the best at amigurumi, but I think I can manage the clothes. It's just time. That's the thing. But the outfits are smaller. I should be able to knock them out pretty quick once I get the bear done. And that will help me, feel like I'm accomplishing something, because I said in my last video, like, I just don't feel like I'm getting a lot of stuff done, because in true Jana fashion, I have, 8 big projects going and I'm just like spinning my wheels. So in saying that, I might be reaching out to Lynette because she's done this, and so far so good, but I'll show you what I got. So you start out making the 2 feet separate, and you use one color like so far up, and then you switch to your bear color. I wasn't paying attention to that. So the bear's going to probably look like he's two-toned, or he's got boots on, or I could even put in yarn and lace it and tie it to make it look like it's a pair of boots. That's an option. But then you cut cardboard to fit inside the feet. So yesterday, watching football, I got the 2 feet done. Now I'll be starting on the circle, and you're going to attach the 2 feet together and then go up to the body, where you will then switch to your t-shirt color for the permanent t-shirt, which the t-shirt, I think I'm going to use Red Heart Super Saver Gold, because there's a color theme for my grandson's room. Well, the burnt orangey color that she had, I wasn't sure if I had any left. And if I did, I can't find it, or it's in a box that's in storage. So I'm just going to do gold. And for like the fisherman's outfit, I have the dark sage, or whatever the color was, for like his fishing outfit. And then I'll just probably pick blue for the cowboy. Just colors that'll match. And it won't matter for like the firefighter and the Halloween thing and all that, which, I mean, it's kind of gold, so that would go too. So anyways, I have the 2 feet so far. There's the cardboard. And then you mark with stitch markers. And once you make the magic ring and do the circle, you'll connect and do whatever you do, and then connect the other side. So technically I should have only gone up to maybe here with this lighter color, because it would have looked like the bottom of his feet, and the cardboard will help him stand and not necessarily have to sit, but whatever. So now this will be my bear color, which the bottom is a mill end, a light tan, and the elephant feet are made the same way. So I think I'm going to hold here, start the elephant feet, so like I'm kind of doing it at the same time, so in case I'm struggling with something, I'm like doing it, and then by the time I get a whole bear done and get to the elephant, I'm going to be like, what the heck did I do? So I'd rather just do it in the assembly line, get the feet done, I'm gonna pay attention and stop that color when I was supposed to, and then get the gray and start the elephant. So before I go back up, I'll get my elephant colors together. And then my bear color is Fair Isle Liberty in walnut. Showed you the gold for my t-shirt, and then you need scraps of black and white for like the nose and well, the muzzle. And then the nose is black yarn, and I have safety eyes. I mean, I could crochet them on, but they're so young right now. They're both a year old actually, so I don't really know if they'll be playing with them, and you know, my daughters and son-in-laws are there to watch them anyways, but I'll decide when I get to that point. And I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook. Now it said you could use anywhere from a 4.5 to a 6.5, and that will determine how big your Amy is. Well, I could have done the 4.5. I think it would have been okay. This is a 5.5, and this is like how big the feet are coming out with. I don't know, and I just have a motto, the bigger the better, so like I think it's going to be a good size. I did not ask Lynette what size she used, and I could have went back and rewatched her videos, but I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it, because once you have a new project, you just want to do it. So yeah, that's it. So I'm excited. Like I said, I'm going to find my colors for my elephant. And I'm honestly thinking that maybe I'm going to do the feet for all four. And like just do them to have them. I might be able to get the little girl done as well. I mean, I'd like to do all four of them to say that I did them. If I do the girl though, I'm not sure if I would do her with a t-shirt on, because she does have like the bathing suit. So I think for her, I'm just going to do her the basic bear with the accessories. I know my granddaughter would probably enjoy that. And again, you know, you can do them like this. She doesn't have the long sleeves, but it's more like a tank. But then you're limited. I mean, unless you do white. I don't know. I'll decide. But anyways, that is what I got to share for today. I wanted to hop on here so that I could move forward on my mosaic and make some progress on these Amies so that I can get to the outfits, because that's going to be the fun part. I also still have my Life doll that I wanted to start making outfits for. So that's more smalls that I can work on. But right now my focus is the amigurumis for the grands. So I would like to thank everybody for taking the time out of your day to come visit with me. I appreciate everybody, new, returning, all my crafty yarny friends. So please like, subscribe, share if you want to, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.